All right, so welcome into Paytience. We want to thank you for purchasing your membership. This is the first tutorial. This is the full tutorial for the Paytience Kit indicator. Now, this is our main indicator, and this is the one that can do everything. It can do scalping, it can do trend trading, and it even has specialized altcoin modes and risk management built into it. So we're going to start off on tradingview.com. You are going to need a tradingview.com membership or the free plan. So we're going to click get started. And if you don't have this already, make sure you're using the link in the description of this video to sign up. That will get you a special deal and it will support Paytience. So we can get the free plan right here, or you can go for the premium plans on TradingView, but the free plan will work for all of our indicators. Once we are into TradingView, we are going to head to the Bitcoin chart, and this tutorial will take place on the Bitcoin chart. Now, the first thing I want to do on this fresh TradingView account is to actually click dark mode on. This will make our chart look a lot better. Now, what you want to do, if you've done the onboarding process, you want to click on indicators. Right here at the top, we're going to click indicators. And by the way, your trading view may not look like ours with the time frames up here and certain other things, but we do have a full tutorial on how to set up your trading view in the best way possible to use these indicators. So what we're going to do is click on indicators, and then you're going to have your favorites tab, your My Scripts, technicals, financials, community scripts, but we want to go to invite only scripts. Now make sure you've given it 15 minutes to 30 minutes of time to get access to the indicators. But if you do have access after your purchase, you're going to go to invite only scripts. And right here, you will see script name, you will see Paytience Kit and Paytience Momentum Oscillator. Now these are the current indicators we offer in our premium suite. There will be more coming, and as a Paytience paying member, you will get access to all of those. So let's click on Paytience Kit. We do have a tutorial for the Paytience Momentum Oscillator as well, and the Paytience Monitor. Right away, we can see this is how it looks on our chart here. So the first thing we're going to do is get rid of all this extra numbers here because it can be confusing. So we're going to right click on the Paytience Kit, and we're going to click indicator arguments off, and we're going to click indicator values off. And now we can cleanly see that we just have the Paytience Kit on right there. Now the next thing is we're going to go through some of the settings right here. So right here we have the inputs tab, we have the style tab, and the visibility tab. We're going to start with the inputs tab. So the monitor settings is for our Paytience monitor in the bottom right corner. We will have a dedicated tutorial on how to use this as well. So we're going to turn that off right now because we're not going to use it or discuss it in this tutorial. This is about the Paytience Kit. Here is our settings for the bands. So what these are custom proprietary bands that track the trend of the price. So you can see the purple is on the bottom, and then we have the yellow on the top here. And one thing you'll notice right off the bat is that when the price gets above these lines, we instantly go back down. So we are on the 15-minute Bitcoin chart. This is Bitcoin against USDT, and this is the 15-minute chart on Binance. But you can see right off the bat, you can recognize that when we approach these lines, we usually head in the opposite direction. Okay, so that is the trend trading part of this. We'll get into that more in depth here shortly. But just so you know, the bands can be turned off or on. As you can see, once we turn them off, they are off. And then we can head back over here. I love to have them on because I think they're extremely powerful. Going into the mode settings here, we have the auto mode and then we have the custom mode. Now, auto mode is very good. It does everything for you, but custom allows you to tap into all of the customization down here. But let's keep it on the auto mode for now. Now, we have the signal type as well. We have the scalper mode, and we have the trend mode, and then we have disabled, which basically disables any of the signals that you see here, so you can just see your clean chart with the bands right there. Now let's turn it back onto the scalper mode, and now I want to show you the asset optimization modes, the specialized altcoin modes. We have Bitcoin, ETH, XRP, HBAR, Tron, BNB, and other. Now with these modes, it's very, very simple. If you're on the ETH chart, you turn it on the ETH mode and choose if you want to scalp or trend, and then choose if you want them to be auto-generated or you want to customize how they are generated. And if you're on XRP, you stick on the XRP mode. And also, feel free to try different modes on different coins. You might find a hidden gem within these settings, but these are specialized to these altcoins right there. Now, let's move down to the scalper settings. So let's turn our scalper onto custom. Here, we're on the Bitcoin 15-minute chart, as I've said. The range filter will basically make sure that the signals are highly filtered, and this makes them more definite. So if you don't want to be high risk with your trading, this will filter out the higher risk trades for you. And this works very well on the trend setting. Let's get into what these signals are. So let's take a look at this one right here that played out. So essentially what the indicator spotted was an entry for a short right here. You can see that there is a red triangle pointing downward right there, indicating a level 2 short. And then the entry line is and then the entry line is this gray line right here. And automatically the indicator will give you its suggested keyword, suggested. This is not set in stone. You are responsible entirely for setting your own take profit and stop loss levels. The indicator simply suggests levels based on your risk management settings, which we will get into in a second. So right here, it set our stop loss at the red line, and then it sets 3 take profits going down. And what we can see from this entry is we smashed through every single take profit. And this is the 15-minute chart. So this entire trade took place over a few hours. If you were using leverage, you could have made thousands and thousands of dollars there, depending on your capital size. Now, right now, we have a live trade. So this is what the trades look like while they're still running. As you can see, we have the entry price right here. It cleanly lays out what the actual entry price is, and then also the levels for stop loss and take profit. And as you can see right here, when the trade is done, it actually closes it out for you. And you can go back and look at previous trades there. This one did get stopped out, but this one absolutely killed it. This one right here is looking very, very good. Our entry was at 36,947, and we're now sitting at 37,180. Keep in mind, we are on the scalping setting. So this is where you're looking for very short-term day trades. You're trying to get in and then get out with a profit. So this worked very well, and I hope that this continues up and we can smash that third take profit level. So turning off the range filter, let's move to the frequency. So essentially what the frequency is how frequent these trades are generated for you. If you turn it up, the trades will be more frequently generated for you. Then we have the scalper length, which is essentially how far the indicator looks back. So if you turn it up, it will give it more data and can potentially edit some of the setups that you see. So essentially this is how far it looks back into the past. So if you turn that down, let's go and turn it back down to 10 here, and we'll keep the frequency on 3. You can also read the little write-up here. The frequency level directly affects the number of signals generated. Lower sensitivity results in a lower number of signals, while higher sensitivity leads to a more aggressive and increased number of signals. So the next thing is the built-in risk management section of the indicator. This is the risk to reward section right here. We have a setting where you can turn off the stop loss and take profit levels right there. We have the ATR length, which is the average true range. Essentially, this measures volatility based on this period right here. We have it on 14 right now. So next we have our ATR scale and our risk to reward right here. These are the two settings we're going to play around with to set our risk management. So right now it's on 1.5 to 3 or 3 to 1.5. So what we're going to do is see what happens when we boost this to 3. So let's put a 3 there, and you're going to see these take profit levels get a lot higher. So the reward is a lot higher there on our take profit levels. So if we set a 5 to 3 ratio, you're going to see how big these risk to reward situations become. Right here, you're basically risking all this red for potential gains of this. So this is just, it's based on what you feel like your risk should be on these trades. You know, you can use a higher ATR scale, and look at that. This is finding that initial trade again, but really it's based on what you want your risk to reward to be. The setting that I find the best for me is the 1.5 on the ATR scale and the 3 on the risk to reward, and that is obviously for scalping. Now let's show you what this thing can look like on the higher time frames. Now you'll notice potentially some very weird setups happen when you put the scalper setting on the higher time frames. I mean, this worked out amazing. This is smashing the third take profit at this point, and this one as well worked out very, very nice, but we're actually using the wrong settings. Now, here's the thing I want to make clear. There are no wrong settings, okay? You're supposed to customize this how it works for you. So find unique settings that work for you. So right now we're on the scalper. Let's go and change it to the trend mode and show you that those setups do change a lot. We still did catch this triple take profit right here. This one did hit the stop loss, but if you would have, you know, take profit there, this is over a day chart. We're on the day chart. So this trade would have taken place over weeks. This is the longer time frame. So keep in mind, there's a lot of room to make profit from 27K up to 30K. Depending on your capital size, that could be hundreds of thousands of dollars. So the key thing to look at here is that entry point and how good the trade actually did. Even if it didn't hit our huge high take profit levels, we're still looking good on a lot of these if you exited. Right here, we can see this was an amazing one, catching that drop from 42K all the way down to 22K. That was back in 2022. Keep in mind, this is the daily chart. One of the things I like to do for the trend trader is actually to turn off the stop loss and take profit and simply look at the bands. And we can identify key levels right here that, you know, one day might start heading down when it touches that band. So we're in one right now. So I wouldn't be surprised if we continue down and bounce off the top of that band. But one of my favorite things to do with the trend mode is simply to look at these touches because they end up playing out. It's just about having patience. And that is why we have named our trading indicator suite and all-inclusive membership. We have named it Patience because it absolutely is the key. Now, the one setting I haven't showed you yet is the trend settings. So we are on the trend mode on auto. Let's actually turn it to custom on the trend mode now, and we're going to turn on the trend line. Now, this is an amazing feature as well. We have the trend line going through the middle, basically, of the bands. Now, this is what we call the home line. Okay, this is the home line. So essentially, price loves to return to the home line. And you can see this right here. When we get out of whack on the home line, we eventually come right back to it. So the red and green aspects of this will show you the overall trend because it is the trend line. So right here, if we're sitting here, you know we're in a red zone, and that means the trend is bearish. So as we can see up here, we have not entered a red zone on this line yet, but we are way, way out of whack playing with our top line here. And we'll get into more strategies with this. You guys can develop your own strategies as well with this indicator. However, that is the full tutorial. You can also set your risk to reward. You can also save certain settings right here if you would like. So if you want to save like a default template or something, you can do that. So essentially make sure you're playing around with it. Play around with it, see what you like. I personally find that the 5-minute and the 15-minute chart work amazing with the scalper mode. Make sure that you're using the correct settings. Quickly now, let's get into the style tab. Basically, the style tab allows you to edit certain things. As we can see, we can turn the little short signals off if we don't want those on our chart. We can also make them anything we want. So we can make it an arrow if we want. We can make it a triangle up. We can make it a diamond. Any type of signal right there, you can customize it to your liking. We're going to keep it on the triangle right now. You can also select the position for it. You can edit the long signal as well. The labels, you can turn them off and on. The line fills also, if those are annoying to you or you don't like to use those. I like to use them personally because it makes it very easy to see when the trade was exited and stopped and if there's a trade on. Line fills, and by the way, we will show you how to set alerts as well so that you will get alerted when these trades open. So you don't have to sit here staring at the chart and waiting, but that is an amazing strategy. If you have the time, sitting there and waiting to get in on one of these entries at the ground floor is amazing. Now, lines, we can also turn off the take profit and stop loss lines, and then the table is the monitor there, which we will have our tutorial for. And then the visibility tab, there's nothing really to play with there. So that is the full tutorial for the Paytience kit. Once again, thank you for becoming a Paytience Inner Circle members only VIP member. Make sure to check out the other VIP tutorials. The key here is being educated and having patience and knowing how to use these indicators, because the proof is in the pudding. The proof is in the profits, folks. The proof is in the profits.